Managing the economy in Counter-Strike 2 requires a balance of strategic thinking, adaptation, and effective communication. I know this all sounds like some big, fancy, and complicated things to do, but when you boil it down to the basics, it's actually much simpler. Hey squad, it's your boy Wano here, and in today's video I will go over the economic structure of Counter-Strike 2 and how you can use the economy of the game in your and your teammates' advantage. Let's start with what is Counter-Strike 2's economy. Basically, is how much you spend every round on weapons, utility, armor, and how much you have left over when the round ends. There are a bunch of different ways you could get the team's economy up, which includes save rounds, eco rounds, and a bunch of others that I will get into later in this video. Let's start with pistol rounds. For the first round, you start with $1,000, which is enough to either buy yourself a pistol, armor, or utility, but rarely more than one at a time. To plan your economy on the first round, you have to decide what it is that you're trying to do. Do you want to execute a site? Then maybe some utility might be a good buy. Do you want to rush? Then some armor might be the better fit. Do you plan on defending a site? Then a stronger pistol might be your best option. Or do you want to save up so you can buy some decent weapons in round 2 or 3? Then maybe stick with the default pistols. Some good pistols to start with if you don't want to spend too much would be the P250 and the dual Berettas. Every time you get rewarded a certain amount of money for the next round on top of your winning or losing bonus. For the pistols, it's $300 per frag. For the CZ75, it's $100, which means if you get 4 frags with the default pistol, you get $1,200 in-game dollars. Couple that with the round win bonus of $3,500 and the $1,000 from the start, suddenly you have $5,700, which is technically enough for an op. How many of you do this? I see you nodding your head. Moving on to eco rounds. You've probably heard that term before, but do you know what it actually means? You'll be surprised as to how many people actually don't know what it means. Eco rounds are when your team, or at least some of them, don't have enough money to buy decent weapons, utility, or armor for the entire round, without bringing an imbalance to the team's economy. This is where you have a few options. Either all of you do a light buy, where you buy maybe like a good pistol or an SMG for economical impact, since all SMGs except the P90 bring in $600 per elimination. If you're a shotgun aficionado, on the other hand, you can opt in for something like the Nova, the XM1014, or the Max 7, which brings you to $900 per elimination. The other option is to not buy anything that round, often called a full save. That way you can set up an ambush or get some eliminations and maybe grab a weapon or two from your opponents. Next up, we got everyone's favorite rounds, full buys. In these rounds, you and your teammates have enough to buy yourself some decent weapons, utility, and armor. Please tell me you buy armor. It is important to note that you shouldn't always spend all your money in one round though. You never know what you might need in the next one. Now we have something called an anti-eco round or anti-eco round. And this is where you buy SMGs even though you can't technically buy anything else. A good example of this is where you are on CT side on Mirage and your IGL tells you to full buy SMGs and rush your ramp. That is an anti-eco round. A lot of you might actually know this as a force round or a force buy round. Moving on to how you can use the game's economy against your opponents. The most important factor here is that you need to force your opponents to buy themselves into a save round. This is called economic pressure. One way to do this is to constantly plant the bomb while on the T side so they feel like they have to spend that extra cash every round to keep up with blocking you from planting. In conclusion, managing the economy in Counter-Strike 2 requires a balance of strategic thinking, adaptation, and effective communication. Each round presents an opportunity to optimize resources and gain a competitive edge. Hey, by the way, this week I'm gonna give away an AK-47 Elite build skin. My question for you is, how do you buy in your first 3 rounds of any given game? Do you save to buy something like an AWP? or are you comfortable with SMGs and light buys? Let me know in the comments down below. I try to answer as much as possible, and in most cases I actually do answer all my comments. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy any of these on your screen right now, and maybe enjoy the one next week where I'm going to talk about the different strategies in Counter-Strike 2 for every single map, thanks to a very good friend of mine that actually came up with somewhat of a book detailing basically everything from what you can buy, where everybody must be, what each teammate in the team should actually buy, and the insane strategies that he came up with. So if you want to check that out, stay tuned for that. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Cheers everybody.